What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised. If you're here, I'm assuming you have just finished watching Cobra Kai and you are trying to get over a Cobra Kai hangover. Or you're probably just a film geek who wants to know all about what goes on behind the scenes during production. Well, here's what Cobra Kai looks like without CGI. So, a bit of background for those who have not seen the show yet. Cobra Kai is an action-packed American martial arts comedy drama television, and it's a sequel to Robert Mark Kammen's The Karate Kid films. The first season first hit the screens in May back in the year 2018 on YouTube Red, with an already planned second season to follow it in April of 2019. However, when season 3 of the show's production was finished, YouTube decided to discontinue making original scripted television, leaving the program without a home. New seasons of the show were therefore started to be released on Netflix in June 2020 once it was acquired. The sitcom was renewed by Netflix for a 4th season, which premiered in January of 2021. So now that Netflix has this show, it actually has been quite successful, and the show was able to build up its fan base even more. In the height of technological advancements, honestly, thank God for that. Production of films has definitely reached a new level. We can see this in various films and shows, including Cobra Kai. So let's discuss it, shall we? During the Coyote Creek scene, I know it looks super cool on screen, but here's what really happened. So here, the Cobra Kai JoJo were separated into groups and given the assignment to take the headbands off the other team during their exercise in the middle of the woods. The winning squad will be the one who can gather the most headbands. The team didn't have as much fun on the show, even though the battle scenes looked really awesome. Aside from the obvious stress acting and filming guides, the actors also had to stay out in the open to film this. A few things they had to endure included standing around while waiting for their scene, and dealing with mosquitoes and God knows what other bugs they encountered during this, and damp, wet floors. Hawk and Miguel's supposedly big confrontation didn't seem so epic at one point. Miguel even stumbled and covered himself in the dirt. Acting is so tough. The majority of the locations and establishments used in the show were actually real, but practically all of the scenes in Cobra Kai were filmed on site. So this reduced the necessity for a set that had been specially created. Cobra Kai Dojo is a real location, and it is actually really close to the Cobra Kai on the film. Don't tell anyone I told you this information though. The only actual set they used to film was Miguel's apartment. So when you see Miguel get up in the morning to do push-ups and an early sweat, just know that that's not a real apartment. The diners and restaurants are not real either. In the behind-the-scenes footage of the show, it is very obvious that the team uses green screens on the windows so that they can later edit them and make it appear as though the actors are in a real restaurant. When Sam and Tori decided to hold a drinking contest, that scene where they had to consume as much alcohol as they could while remaining balanced on one foot. Despite the teeny tiny detail of underage drinking, this scene was really cool. In order to avoid injuring Sam and Tori and the other actors that were part of the scene, the crew opted to restrain them using ropes, which you would not even realize when viewing them through the camera lens or through the TV as a viewer. Do you guys remember the billboard? The billboard of Daniel LaRusso that Johnny drew a penis on? Yeah, that one. Daniel LaRusso had just put up that billboard as a new ad for his car dealership, and Johnny just wanted to humble him down. So he drew on it using spray paint. However, that was another film editing magic because in real life, there was no billboard, no penis drawn onto the billboard. It was all CGI. So really, Daniel was mad about nothing. The majority of the scenes were shot outside, which was challenging because there were so many distractions, especially during takes. Here is a behind-the-scene footage of Willem Zabaka getting interrupted by a car alarm that started going off in the parking lot. I swear to you, the dojo is real. There is so much behind-the-scene footage that caught bees, flies, mosquitoes, and all other bugs interrupting actors during takes, and almost all the time, the actors would smash that like button. But really, no. The actors would run away from the bugs, and I think I would too if I were them. Gianni DeCenso even almost choked at a moth at some point. I guess the bugs only wanted to be part of the show too. So because they had to film in the wilderness, actors had to put in extra long days for filming. Curious about how they could have done all the jump kicks, especially that cool epic small fight where Samantha came in swinging and kicking at Hawk. The secret to this is, aside from the superb videography and of course the editing they had to do, it was all ropes. When doing the scenes like this, the actors would tie their waists with ropes, which would help them jump higher. In some other films, they would have other people on the other end pulling the rope to lift up the actor. But with big productions that have enough budgets such as this show, they had pillars that automatically pull the ropes and lift the actors up in the air. I think I should mention the editing that goes into scenes like this because you best believe it is tedious work. Imagine having to edit that rope for every frame and make it look realistic as possible. It is hard, and I guess that is why most productions don't really do this as much. How about the badass professor? Well, the badass professor is truly a badass in every sense of the word. His character has been doing karate at Cobra Kai dojo for the last few months, and from his last scene, he was kicking ass. That scene made me crack up so much, and I found it really cool. For fight scenes like this in any action show or movie, you have to have fight choreography, and actors have to practice that. So there wasn't really much of CGI magic that was brought into the scene, just plain practice, cool videography, and of course, the editing to make it look even better. In any karate film, we of course have to see the pieces of training that would help them be the best karate fighter they can be. And for this show, while LaRusso uses Chinese methods to teach his trainees the craft, Johnny had different methods in mind, such as having to practice karate on a wooden platform that is floating on water. Johnny also decided to put the students inside a mixer of a cement truck and have them use nothing but their physical strength to make the wheel churn. So you would see on the screen the kids pushing the giant wheel, but the thing is, the inside of this cement truck look nothing like real ones. The real ones have spiraling edges that mix the cement with sand and water. In the show, they actually used a giant cylinder that they filled up with cement, and they placed a camera on one end. So if you were a viewer seeing this on your screen, you would only see the students inside the truck mixing cement like it's the real deal. I mentioned the mall fight with Samantha and Hawk earlier, but let's talk about that one again because it was a really awesome scene. In order to pull this scene off, they had to place mattresses all over the set, and as I mentioned before, they had to tie up the actors with that special rope to help them cool jump kicks. So that is exactly how they did it. She lunges, uses the shoulder of another actor for support, and the rope helps spin her around. It's so freaking cool. Now, let's talk about Miguel's injury. Which was honestly the most unforgettable scene in Cobra Kai. Robby was absolutely brutal. He kicked Miguel over the railing and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Okay, no, that's too far-fetched, but, well, Miguel fell. Despite falling off multiple flights of stairs, he went with 0 scratches. Thank God. That would have been an expensive lawsuit otherwise. So, how did they pull this off? Miguel was secured by 2 poles that were placed on each side of the stairwell. It was tied with multiple cords and ropes from both sides, making it appear as if Miguel was falling. Miguel's fall was in slow motion, and this was pretty much how slow they were lowering the ropes down. With the use of ropes and a hint of CGI editing magic, this scene turned out epic. See you in the next video.